Creating a story is a gift to yourself and those who have observed its creation and final form. Storytelling has been a part of humanity since dawn. We know what has happened in history due to storytelling. We've discovered interests, comforts, and horrors through storytelling. The last movie you watched, the last book you read, was a story being told to you. As Tyrion Lannister once said in Game of Thrones, there's nothing in the world more powerful than a good story. Nothing can stop it, no enemy can defeat it. Stories are more influential than physical power, wealth, or national symbols. So why is storytelling so addicting? Storytelling is addicting because it transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. It takes the world around you and fills it with meaning, memory, and a version of yourself worth following. When you create a world and a character that people can enjoy, relate to, and gain something from, that carries a deep significance. There is something profoundly satisfying about building something that exists beyond yourself, a character that someone else sees himself in, a world that someone else wants to explore. You stop being just a player or a builder, and you become an author. And like any author, you feel the weight and the reward of that responsibility every time someone connects with you and what you've made. We've all been inspired by stories told to us, and they shape us for better or possibly worse. And that feeling of responsibility changes everything about how I have experienced the process of storytelling. I'm currently creating a story called The Last Empire that focuses on the history of the world's largest standing empire, with many inspirations from other stories such as Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, and Red Dead Redemption. Every action I've taken in my world, The Last Empire, stops being mechanical. Placing a block isn't just placing a block, it's laying the foundation of a throne room, raising the walls of a city that will survive thousands of years. The story transforms the mundane tasks I need to do to progress in my Minecraft world into something meaningful. It wraps every task in purpose, and suddenly hours have passed without me noticing, honestly. Because I wasn't just building, I was living inside something, creating a story worth telling, and something that I'm excited to return to. I'm addicted to storytelling. That's because story establishes context, and context provides the why. Without a story, an action is just an action. But the moment I place myself inside a narrative, that action inside of a story, inside of a world with history, stakes, and characters who care, it becomes something else entirely. Every decision in The Last Empire has a real reason behind it. The immersion deepens, the engagement sharpens, and what might have felt like a chore becomes a scene I'm desperate to see through to the end. Creating the story has given me a real reason to keep going, to keep creating and find value in storytelling. But what makes a story work? Effective storytelling relies on 5 key elements: the character, the setting, the plot, a conflict, and the theme. The character is who we follow. They are the heart of the story, one of the main people that the audience can relate to, hate if they want, be excited for them, or terrified for them in moments of conflict. A compelling character doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it's their flaws, their struggles, their growth that makes them worth following. The setting is the world they inhabit. The environment communicates history. It is the first thing you see before a single word is spoken. In The Last Empire, the setting is a major point in the story. Every structure, district, skyline tells you something about the world. The plot is the sequence of events that pulls everything forward. It gives the story momentum, a beginning that hooks, a middle that builds, and an end that resolves. Without a plot, you have a world, but no journey through it. Conflict is what gives the story weight. It is the force that tests the character and challenges your world. Without conflict, there are no stakes, and without stakes, there is no real reason to care for what happens next to the world or character. And finally, a theme is the soul of every story. It's the question the story is really asking, and what people can expect from it. In The Last Empire, the theme might be legacy, what the people build, why they build it, and what they hope for. Or it could be about history, looking back on an empire that everyone lives in and how it was formed. Or even power, people grasping at power in a vacuum. The theme is what the underlying tone of the story is, and what authors and myself have used to create a story from their imagination. And unlike a book or film, a story you create has a unique personal agency that comes with it. The Last Empire was inspired by other media sources that majority of us have watched. The political turmoil inspired by Game of Thrones, different regions and characters inspired by Lord of the Rings, and the behaviors of other people from Red Dead Redemption and many other places. These are great pieces of story work and have forged incredible worlds that everyone has been drawn into. And these stories inspired me to create a story where I transform everything. I choose where the borders are drawn, what the Empire stands for, who lived in it, and the conflicts it endures. That feeling of authorship I get is rare and immense. I get a great deal of satisfaction out of it, knowing that the story and characters I have created could possibly inspire others to create a story of their own. A story may be similar to another, but at the end of the day, it is uniquely yours. And that's what separates storytelling in games from other mediums. A book tells you a story, a film shows you one, and you're just consuming it. But a game lets you become part of it. The story isn't just being delivered to you, it's being shaped by you, moment to moment. You're not just an audience member watching a narrative unfold, you are the co-author writing it in real time. Every action you take will be different from all the other players playing the same game, and that's not something you can get from a cinema seat. And when the story is strong, the emotional impact of everything you experience is amplified. The music hits differently when you understand it. A ruined building means more when you know who built it and why it fell. The lore, the dialogue, these small details buried in the world create an intimacy between you and the experience that pure gameplay alone never could. And that is why I'm addicted to making stories like this. Creating this story has been an amazing thing. It has brought me into so many other fields of interests and passions, and it has led me to meet extraordinary people and has given me a real creative purpose. When playing a game, you don't remember what you did. You remember how it felt. And that feeling is what pulls you back every single time. So never forget it. Creating a story is essential because it's a fundamental way humans connect, process reality, and communicate meaning. So if you've gotten anything from this at all, please, if you have an idea, if you have anything in your head that may be similar to a story or just anything at all, a character, an idea, whatever it may be, start. Make a story from it. Do whatever you need to do, just pursue it. We are all born to tell a story.